This video is sponsored by Squarespace. My name's Tommo and I'm redesigning all 11 of the 2026 Formula 1 car liveries. But before we do, let's take a look at the real thing. And don't forget to let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. This is redesign 6 of 11. It's the Scuderia. Can Ferrari finally break the curse? Is this the machine that can deliver silverware to Maranello for the first time since 2008? Let's talk about it. As is tradition, Ferrari launched their livery with a little shakedown at their private test track Fiorano in Maranello, and the renders have dropped as well, which gives us the best look at the livery. Of course, plenty of aero detail that can be dug into, but that's not the purpose of this video. We're looking at the livery. You know what? At first glance, I wasn't so sure, but I actually think I really like it. And spoiler alert, the white part of this design I absolutely called. I was so sure they were going to lean more into the white after how well that 2025 Monza livery was received. That looks stunning. Nowhere near as many people were complaining about the HP blue then. For me, this is a way better way of implementing it into the car on the white, never directly on the red. That's where I think they've come unstuck in the past. We've got a fully blacked out front and rear wing, which I don't hate, but I've done differently. They've still got the annoying, very small HP logos on those wings, which a circular lockup does not lend itself to those places, but they are title sponsors, so I get that they need to be there, but it's just a shame that they don't spread the HP over multiple elements a bit more. The days of Ray-Ban on the side pod are gone. They are now on the front wing, which is a less prominent position on the car, so they must be paying a bit less money, I guess, which is a shame. I will be bringing that back. Classic shell on the side, though. Fundamentally, it is to be expected, but they've taken the white from the Monza car last year, added the little pinstripe. We've seen that on the team suits and merchandise as well. And for me, if they're going to insist on using HP blue, it comes together pretty well. What I do not like is the blued out IBM on the back of the rear wing. The Ferrari should never have a solid color that isn't red, white, or black on it, and that solid blue is just unacceptable. So I will absolutely be changing that. But there's way more I like about it than I don't. Ranking wise, this is tough. Of course, it's not as good as the Haas. Racing Bulls, is it as good as the Racing Bulls? You know what? Yeah, I actually prefer this to the race. This is going P2, because why not? It's a stunning looking car. It's not perfect, but they've integrated the blue better than they have done in the past. For me, very good job, Ferrari. All this talk of innovation has actually got me thinking of today's video sponsor, Squarespace. You want to know why? Well, Squarespace's blueprint AI software that makes it an absolute doddle to build your beautiful online home. A website you can be proud of, was awarded one of Time Magazine's best inventions of 2025 last year. Having served over 14 million entrepreneurs in over 200 countries and territories worldwide over the years, Squarespace know exactly what they're doing. Whether you're trying to grow a business, start a blog, a portfolio, doesn't matter the application, Squarespace has got you covered. It's well worth checking out, especially as it is free to try. It's only when you want to publish your finished website live to the world that you actually have to pay anything, and I'm pretty confident you'll get to that point. So if you want a bit of money off, head to squarespace.com/TommoF1 to get 10% off of your very first website or domain. So that's my thoughts on the real thing, but what about my reinterpretation? Well, here is my redesign of the 2026 Ferrari Formula 1 car. But the HP's blue, Tommo, it's blue, blah, blah, blah. Look, my challenge here to myself is to try and keep the HP blue, because clearly HP wants that. Okay, clearly that's a non-negotiable. Trying to implement it in a way that isn't as offensive. Because look, let's be honest, we look back at one of the best Ferrari liveries of all time, the 91 car. That has a blue Fiat logo, and that still looks incredible because the aesthetic of the car is stunning and it's a super simple paint job. But yes, I have done something very similar to the actual car in terms of the blocked out white top bit. Compositionally, it's nigh on identical. I did not know they were going to do that, but I think this works a treat, and I was looking at the 25 Monza car as well. That's where I drew inspiration for that. However, what I have done differently is instead of blacking out the wheels and the front and rear wing, I've lent even more into the white, because for me, that helps mask the HP blue even better. Bang side on profile, sponsorship placement is a little bit different. Again, Savers big on the side. Ray-Ban has returned to the sideboard because I wanted it to. Unicredit's still there, but it's on white this time. Broadly speaking, nothing's massively changed. Again, it's more the base colors. So I've got a white intersecting through with two pinstripes outlining, and then I've carried the two pinstripes throughout. You can see that on the rear wing as well. I just felt like one pinstripe wasn't enough. They've done one on the actual car, but the actual car looks a bit more modern. This is a bit more of a retro throwback, I think, especially with those white wheels as well. Look, I've done a version as well with just all black wheels. Let me know what you prefer. I'll just intertwine between the two, right? Which one do you prefer? But I like the white wheels. I think it helps bring it all together. But black wheels on an F1 car never ever look bad. Right, front wing. Let's go front wing next. I've whited out the base, and you can see I've carried the HP logo across two elements. It makes it fit that space a lot better, and I've brought the pinstriping down on the front wing as well, with a little red section for Shell V-Power. I've also brought IBM in their own blue, which is maybe a bit controversial, onto the front wing end plate, because that is on a base white that sits alone as a logo on the car. It's pretty independent from the rest, and I think you get away with it. Sponsors down the nose are pretty much the same. But talking of IBM in blue, if you come to the rear view, you can see I've ditched the blue entirely, and I've got a big white IBM logo on carbon black. For me, that is acceptable enough. You don't need any more than that, okay, IBM? Don't get greedy. You're ruining the design. Now, you can see the big HP logo on the inside of the rear wing, and that is because I've dropped it entirely from the top of the rear wing and replaced it with the classic vintage Ferrari text, which I always think looks absolutely superb, and I wish they used this more on the actual car. Alas, they do not, but that's what my redesign's for. Right, so you can see number 44 I've done for Lewis Hamilton in a pretty traditional looking font, again to match the kind of traditional vintage classic vibes I'm going for from this car. And then in and around the halo, sponsors are very much the same, but I've just whited out this entire section on the actual car. They've got the white section, but they've also got a black halo running through it. I think it looks cleaner to just block it all out white. No carbon, no red. For me, that works. And of course, on white, all of the sponsor logos on the halo have a good chance of singing. So there we have it. That is my reinterpretation of the 2026 Ferrari Formula 1 car. Certainly over the 55% paint threshold requirement. Probably too much for the actual car. They would certainly want to add a bit more carbon, but I don't play by those rules because I don't work for Ferrari. Let me know what you think of my redesign, who won, the original or my version. Next up, Alpine. The car has already launched, but we'll save our chat around that for the next video. Don't know if I'll have time this weekend, might have to come out next week. We will see. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, engage so that you don't miss it. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.